Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now, here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Hey folks, we're live. This is Bruce Hutchin, and we're heading out to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania this evening, and we're going to meet up with the Hardcore Generation TV team, and it's John and Keagan Zelko. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Hey, what do you want to say to the people on Facebook about the show, Keagan?
We're hoping that we're going to be popular and that a lot of people are going to watch our show.
Yeah, no, you're a pretty special kid because you go out and you talk to other kids about hunting. What do you tell them?
That they just need to practice a lot with their bows and just have fun and go out with their family.
Yeah, because you got a pretty special dad, too, because he's made that all thing possible. And, John, when you see Keagan and his bow fishing exploits, which he won, what the heck did he win the other year? Bow
Junior
Fisherman
Bow
of the year?
Yeah, Junior Bow Fisherman of the Year for the U.S.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, he does a lot of bow fishing during the summer and then a lot of whitetail hunting in the winter.
Well, in Pennsylvania, a lot of people whitetail hunt. Now, why'd you start the show, John?
The kids kind of got it in their head that they wanted to try it, and we were on an entrance to another show, and he said it would be a good idea for us, and we've been working on it for about 3 years because we wanted to do it right, not just jump right in. And I wanted to do something for the kids, and they're using it to introduce other kids to the sports.
Because, Keagan, it's really important that recruit kids. I mean, because hunters are getting old, and I'm a perfect example of it. The tipping point over 50 years old for the average age of hunters today. And we hunt hard and everything, but fewer and fewer. And we need kids just like you doing exactly what you're doing, getting on my show, Whitetail Rendezvous, and saying, hey, kids, get your dad, get your mom, get your uncle, get somebody, and let's get out in the woods together. Now, do you shoot a 10-point crossbow?
Yes, that is one of our sponsors.
They're one of your sponsors?
Yes.
That's great. And so how many deer have you taken with your crossbow?
9.
9 deer, all bucks and does?
Yep.
Well, tell me about your first one.
Well, it started to get dark. We heard something behind us, and it came out from the side. And I said, Dad, look, there's a big buck. And it came right into view. Had a perfect shot, but unfortunately the camera couldn't get on it. And I put it right behind the shoulder. And it was a perfect shot.
So you double lugged him?
Yep.
How far did he go?
About 40 yards into the woods.
He bailed. You piled him up, didn't you? You smoked him.
Yep.
Pretty much. I hate it when the deer come up behind me because I ground hunt. And so I'm sitting on the ground, and I hear them coming. I mean, literally, they're not 10, 20 yards away, and you just hear them coming. And it's not a squirrel. You know that just because of the way their sound, their steps. So you just sit there and go, is it going to be a buck or a doe, buck or a doe? And they have to get by me because I'm right-handed, and I can't pivot, right? So they have to get in front of me before I can. It's just like turkey hunting. For me, hunting whitetails off the ground is just like turkey hunting because I've got my gun up, it's in my rest, and all I have to do, they just have to get into my firing lane, and then I shoot a red dot, so dot goes behind the shoulder, pull the trigger, done deal. But those suckers, man, and if I just blink, if I do anything, smile, crack my head at all, man, they just blow up and go. It sucks. It really sucks. How do you keep yourself together? Because I can't. I kind of cheat, and I just turn my head a little bit. I mean, they're only 10 yards away, eyeball to eyeball. So how do you keep your stuff together?
It's really hard. I just have to wait till they get in the right spot. My dad tells me when he's got the camera on, and I got to find him, and then I can take the shot.
He loses after he shoots.
Now, do you use a red dot or you use a scope, or what do you use on your 10-point?
I use a scope.
It's the red dot from 10-point.
Oh, then yeah.
Yeah, because red dot, the only thing in that, some listeners might say, Bruce, no, you're wrong. But I think for whitetail hunting, the red dot is probably the best because you're taking 10, 20, 30-yard shots at max, and it's just simple. You don't have to find them in the scope. You don't have to do anything. Both eyes open. It's like shotgunning. You just both eyes open, you get on the game, pull the trigger. Pretty simple. John, how did you start hunting? Who got you going?
My stepdad took me the first time I went out, and then my uncles and my grandfathers just kept me going. And it turns out, as soon as I turned 16, it was on, because here we can hunt on our own at 16. And I was out there as much as I could be.
So when did you kill your first buck?
I was probably 16.
Yeah.
I think the first one was with a rifle. It wasn't very big. Not like his was.
Doesn't matter.
So that's
Doesn't matter.
This year, him and I were out in the stand, and a legal one came out, and he was just so excited, and I was the only one that had a tag, and he's like, shoot it, I'm going to record it. And it wasn't a big one, but we shot it. It was a family time, and it was fun.
Well, yeah, they all eat good,
Yeah.
They all eat good, and big, small. I have my own. I did not shoot a buck this year because I just passed on all the bucks, and that's the way it was. And I had a great season, but you just figure out what you're going to be comfortable with, and our crew killed a lot of does on the farm, so we had plenty of meat. But it's a matter of finding what you want. So, Keagan, what do you tell kids when they ask you, why do you hunt? Because there's got to be some kids at your school that hunting just doesn't work for them.
Well, I just tell them that it's a great family experience. I love being out with my family, and it's always a great experience to get a deer and hold it in your hands for first time, especially if it's your first deer.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, my first deer was in 1966, and it's been a while, a couple of years since I have killed a deer, but we'll get back at it in the years ahead. It's just a matter of the right deer coming through. But what do you think social media impact is on hunting right now, Keagan?
Not a lot of people like hunting, but most people enjoy it, and yeah. Can't think of what I want to say.
All right. Well, John, what do you think social media? I mean, you're all over social media. I've checked your sites and everything.
It can be
social media a good thing or a bad thing for us?
It can be good and bad. I mean, it's good to get it out there, but there's so much bickering nowadays between, oh, it's got to be this big. It's got to be, oh, I can't believe you shot that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if it's legal, it's legal. More power to you, especially with these little guys or even adults with their first deer. And then you see them post it, they're happy as can be. And then it's, you should have never shot that. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. And it's like, just congratulate them. That's not helping our sport either.
When you think about your camera and your crew, now, how many people are on the hardcore Generation TV crew?
It's me, Keagan, and his older brother, John.
So just the three of you?
Yep. I'm usually behind the camera, so I don't get to shoot too much, but that's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Now,
still get the experience.
Yeah. Now, what do you want to happen with your show?
Well, I'd like it to get big enough for them and keep it where we're still remember where we came from and that, and not get these big heads and still be involved with the kids. We do a lot of charity events and donating stuff for like sick kids and that kind of thing. And we're always taking new kids out for these adventures, like the bow fishing. We have kids that want to go all the time. We have a boat going out every weekend where we take somebody new. I'm hoping when the year starts with this archery after Christmas, we have a kid from Keagan's hockey team that's never shot a deer that we're going to hopefully get out and get him on film getting one. So right now for us, it's all about helping with the kids, and I'm hoping that's how it stays.
So if somebody wants to look you guys up, where can they be found?
Right now, we're just on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have started a YouTube channel, which is Hardcore Generation TV, but we don't have a whole lot of videos on yet because we're still in the process of doing all the editing and that for the show this year. And we're definitely going to be on Gen 7 TV, which is like on Hulu and that kind of TV.
Right.
We're trying to keep it low budget the first year as far as where we're outputting so we can get more adventures in. And once we get more sponsors, we'll build it up and hopefully get on Pursuit Channel is what we're looking for.
Well, good luck to that, because that's a money play. I mean, it ain't cheap.
Yeah, right now everything's coming out of my pocket pretty much.
Out. Yeah. So you're going to have to get sponsors for that. There's,
Yeah,
you know,
we have one. Buffalo Valley Game Calls has stepped up to the plate and has really, really helped us
Yeah.
and does a lot for these boys. And we can't say more. And 10-point, they've been great. So we can't complain with the guys we have right now.
well, that's great. And it's great to see you getting support because it is, Keagan, the future of hunting is in your hands, literally. And the more you can do and the more you can write blogs and do interviews like you're doing now and getting the word out, it's important because kids will say, wait a minute, he plays hockey, blah, 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 does all this stuff and he hunts. Well, what's so special about hunting? And then you just sit and talk to them to say, yeah, just come with me and experience it. I'll guarantee you the first time they hear that deer walking up behind them or seeing them come over a hill or something, it'll light them up. At least I hope it will.
Yeah, it's great with the kids. We got a lot of companies that send us stuff every time we ask for when it comes to kids. Like Tribe Archery, they give us all our bow fishing stuff. Everything we use for these kids comes from Tribe. And they even donate stuff when we go to these charity events and everything. They're just great. Steady Form gives us stuff. And they want to see our first year before they step up more, which is, I can understand. But there's a lot of companies interested in us as long as they get to see our first year.
Yeah, and you have to produce as good a quality as you can.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Now, what's your philosophy on hunting? Do you like to just tree stand, still hunt, spot and stalk, run and gun? What do you guys like to do the most?
I like tree stand and ground. There's sometimes where we just sit on the ground. We move around a little bit, but not too much. Because when we have new areas, we don't move. We just set up a tree stand and sit there all day or all afternoon.
I like double set hang-ons or are they ladder stands?
We have climbers.
Climbers?
Yeah.
How's that work out?
Well, I go up first and he goes up behind me, just in case if I have any trouble getting up the tree.
Now, how does he get above you to do the filming?
I take mine apart when I get up there, just the top part, and put it in between his and get her around to the side so that we're basically level. And I stand up and hide behind the tree.
Now, what kind of camera gear do you have?
It's a Canon. I can't remember the actual brand. It's from one of the Canons from, what's the company that sells all the hunting cameras?
Spy Point, Moultrie.
I can grab it quick.
Sure, go grab it. You might as well give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Now, Keagan, do you like shooting more or filming?
Well, when it comes to my dad, I don't really care. I just like to see him shoot deer. And I also like shooting because it's always fun getting a deer and taking pictures.
Sure.
Campbell cameras.
Okay.
It's a regular hunting Canon.
Okay.
And Buffalo Valley actually bought this camera from us, or for us, should I say. So they got us more than started.
Oh, yeah. So it's an HD type.
Yep. It has everything. We got a shotgun mic, everything for it. That's
sweet. Now, when you guys hunt so many different places, how do you scout them?
All summer long.
Okay.
Summer and fall before we get in.
With long distance scouting, or are you using trail cameras, or what are you doing?
We use trail cams. We drive a lot. We have a friend that has a farm in Erie that we go up and we put cameras out. We have a great friend, Adam Spittler in Pine Grove, PA, that hooks us up with an amazing place to hunt. And he does most of the scouting there for us. And then we have a farm in Virginia that we travel down to and put cameras out, and Maryland also. So it's a lot of driving.
Yeah, Maryland has some big bucks. I'm not that familiar with Virginia, but the people I've talked to in Maryland, even though you think it's suburban, there's a lot of agriculture. I know it's great goose hunting in Maryland, and there's some really nice bucks in Maryland if you know where to go.
Yeah, we hunt in an area that's archery only.
That's even better.
Yeah.
So how do you decide where you're going to hunt each year?
Well, it all depends on, we go to all of them each year, but it all depends on the schedule with him playing hockey and all the different places. 4 hours to Erie. It's only an hour to Maryland, an hour to Pine Grove, and then 4 hours to Virginia. So we just pick our weekends and go back and forth.
Now, what do you do with all the venison?
It goes quick. It's in the freezer.
It's in the freezer. Do you process the venison yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, and we share it with some families that like deer meat but don't hunt too.
Uh-huh.
So we
What's your
process it and then just give it to them.
What's your favorite cut, Keagan?
I like steaks. The
Tenderloins.
Yeah.
Tenderloin and the back straps. And I love jerky because I have the jerky made up from this year's deer, and then I eat it next year. So that's what I like to do on that.
What he goes through.
What does he go through, John?
Sweet stick. The sweet stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pounds and no, do you make those up yourself?
No, a local butcher does that for us.
That's great. That's great. So when you think about everything you got ahead of you, Keagan, what are you looking for? Your what? 8th, 9th, 10th grade? I don't know.
I'm in 7th.
You're in 7th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a big kid. You're a big kid for 13. At least your pictures look like you're a big kid. You play defense on hockey?
Yeah.
You pound the guys into the boards, I bet, too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can't board. Can you board in your league or not?
No.
Well, he can check, but you're not allowed to board.
No
It's
boarding?
called checking. Yeah. Boarding is a
check.
separate penalty.
Right. You just smash the guy into the boards.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. So where do you see yourself? I mean, 3 years, you're going to be a sophomore in high school. What do you think is going to happen with your hunting career?
I'm really hoping it takes off, and we're on a lot of more hunting channels, and we'll get more popular, and we'll have a lot more sponsors.
Now, are you guys going to ATA?
No, we don't have the access at this point.
Okay, because you haven't been published. Your show hasn't been published yet?
Yeah, I'm not real sure how to get in. I thought you kind of have to know somebody to get in, like a company or something. And it's a lot of money involved.
Well, it just depends who sponsors you, because 10 Point, you could go in with 10 Point.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I might have to look into it.
What I would do, because I'm going to be there, I'm press. I'm a member of POMA, Professional Outdoor Media Association, and I just do promos and I do interviews 3 days straight and talking to all the companies and finding out what's new and all that. But I would go to your sponsor, since you get 10 Point behind, just call them up, say, hey, can we get to Louisville and hang out at your booth and meet people? Because that's the best place in the archery world to be. If you're going to do anything in the archery world, you need to be at ATA. And then, you need to get there. If you don't get there this year, get there next year. But work really hard on developing some relationships so you can be part of ATA. There's no question about it. We're wrapping up on this segment of Whitetail Rendezvous with Hardcore Generation TV. What are your thoughts, John, about what you see in your son and how he's developed in his confidence and his character just because he hunts?
Well, I've been really proud of him. I mean, he steps to the plate. And like I said, he does a lot of the charity events too. He helps with auctions that we do with a turkey. They sell turkey calls and that to raise money to pay for children's doctor bills and that kind of stuff. And he's a runner. He helps with that. He collected stuff to take up for those underprivileged kids next weekend. And he's always telling his friends about his experiences and telling them they got to come along and bringing them. I mean, he's just like his older brother. His older brother does the exact same thing, helps anybody and is always there. So I can't be more proud of my boys.
Well, you're a proud father, and it's just been a pleasure to having you guys on. And I will send you the link as soon as we end here so you can share it on all your social media platforms. And I just wish you guys all the best, and reach out to me. Make sure I know what's going on, and if I can help you, just let me know.
Definitely. We'll definitely keep in touch. We'll have to get you out bow fishing.
Well, I'm up for it. My past history and the evidence of my success, it's slim to none.
Are you anywhere close to Pikes Peak?
Yeah, I can see it right off my deck.
We're coming out there in the spring and next fall. We're coming out for turkey and elk next fall.
So where are you going to turkey hunt?
Right in the Sand Grays. Does that sound right?
Santa de Cristos. Yeah, south of me.
Yeah. Part of the Rocky Outfitters is a friend of mine, and he's just bringing us out to film and use our footage. So, I mean, we're getting a heck of a deal, and he's helping us out.
Sure. When you get here, just give me a call. I'll come and spend a day with you.
Yeah. Last time we were out, my oldest son was 12. He shot a nice elk, and there was just elk everywhere. It was unbelievable. The
private land or public land?
Public.
Well, were you hunting with an outfitter?
Yeah, the Heart of the Rockies. They took us out. We stayed in the tent for a week. We stank a little, but it was fun.
Oh, it's all good. Well, you make sure you've got my just email me and say, hey, Bruce, we're coming out. Let's meet up. And yeah, I'd love to spend a day with you in camp.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.